Welcome back, and joining us on the broadcast today is Mr. Subhash Desai, who is Maharashtra's Industry Minister, who along with his colleagues in Maharashtra cabinet is in Davos for World Economic Forum 2022 to woo investments for his state of Maharashtra. Mr. Subhash Desai, thank you very much for joining us here on Mirror Now. I'm Hina Gambhir, and tell us a little bit about how the progress has been for the state of Maharashtra.
Yes, we have been here in Davos last 4 days, and we have been interacting with global leaders in various sectors. We had meetings with UPL Group for their expansion in Maharashtra, then Gemini Group. We also had a meeting with HCL Technologies, Jubilant, Voyager Space, Planet Lab, Lulu Group, the Tetra Pak, and ArcelorMittal. All these companies have very active negotiations with our delegation, myself, and we have with us Mr. Aaditya Thackeray, the youngest member of our cabinet, and Dr. Nitin Raut, who is the Energy Minister of Maharashtra. We had elaborate discussions with these companies and prospective investors. Yesterday, we signed agreements with 23 companies, total worth rupees 30,000 crores investment in intentions into Maharashtra. And these companies are from various countries like United States, Japan, Singapore, South Korea, Indonesia, and Indian companies as well. These are into various sectors like food processing, pulp and paper, then e-mobility, and other sectors as well. These investments are going into the different districts of Maharashtra, in Vidarbha, in Marathwada, in Western Maharashtra, in Konkan Belt, everywhere these companies have been distributed. So the fruits of this development are reaching out to the people in various sectors of the state.
Okay. Mr. Subhash Desai, MOUs have been signed, and we are getting big numbers as well. The kind of investment that you are looking to get, in the state of Maharashtra by visiting Davos this year. But what would it really mean for the people of Maharashtra?
Of course.
How do they stand to benefit from these MOUs that you are signing?
With these 23 investment intentions, we are looking forward to creation of 66,000 new jobs in the state. So our young youth, the people, will get job opportunities to that extent in various sectors and at various levels. So our government is really happy having created so many job opportunities.
Okay, that's interesting to hear. But Mr. Subhash Desai, we also know that, in the past, many a times MOUs are signed on forums like these, but, many fail to even translate to real investment. So what is the assurance that you have got? How much of it will actually be translating into real money coming into the state of Maharashtra?
I would like to assure that each and one, this MOU would be translated into real industry. We have checked and rechecked about their readiness, and therefore we are confident that every MOU would be converted positively into the real industry. Otherwise, we would have signed more than 100 MOUs, but out of them we have shortlisted to 23 only who are very serious and ready for the instant process. We are also readily allotting land parcels to these investors so that they would start their construction and realizing their projects soon.
Okay, an agreement on plastic pollution has been signed as well. Could you give us a little more details?
Yes. Uh, Yesterday, we had very detailed discussions with Ms. Gemini Corporation, who are into plastic recycling. And as you know, the Maharashtra is the first state in the country to ban use of a kind of plastic. And therefore, we are very seriously and aggressively taking this cause forward. And we want to make 100% recycling of the plastic. We are also reducing the use of plastic, but whatever plastic is being used, which is unavoidable, must be recycled. And therefore, groups like Gemini are coming forward to collaborate with government of Maharashtra. And we are sure that our initiatives would be translated into the real industrial efforts into the plastic recycling.
Okay. Mr. Subhash Desai, this meeting of World Economic Forum in Davos is very, very crucial because the world is recovering from COVID pandemic. There is a Russia-Ukraine crisis that's going on as well. How has been the mood among investors there, especially towards a country like India?
Yes, it is my experience that they are in positive mood. All the investors and economic leaders are in a positive mood of taking the negotiations forward. Here we see the exchange of ideas, the exchange of concepts, which would be translated into the business projects. And therefore, the people who are joining in this World Economic Forum are having a positive outlook towards the future. And after a gap of, say, about 2 years, and they are joining their hands and taking this world forward. I mean, this is, they are taking care of planet and people. And of course, together, the businesses will flourish at this forum in Davos.
Okay, Mr. Subhash Desai, now this one is a tricky question for you because you are there with your colleagues from Maharashtra cabinet in Davos. There are ministers from several other state governments as well, like Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh as well, who are also present there, wooing the same set of investors to invest into their particular state. So is there competition among all of you as well, the states at Davos?
Yes. There is a competition between the states, and everyone wants to take his state to #1 position. It's a healthy competition. We also sit together and exchange our ideas. Yesterday, we had meetings, myself and Aaditya Thackeray, with Mr. Rao of Telangana. Then we also had an opportunity to meet the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. And therefore, there may be competition, but it's a healthy competition. And together, we want to make India shine. We want to see the India sees the fruits of success through all these efforts, which are collective efforts. And independently, we are trying for the growth and progress of our respective states. So there is nothing wrong in competing with each other, but this competition is healthy and progressive.
Okay. So this competition among states is healthy and progressive is what you're telling us, Mr. Subhash Desai. But also I want to understand from you, what is the pitch from a state like Maharashtra? What is the USP that you are selling to the investors from around the world who have gathered for Davos World Economic Forum 2022 this time?
Maharashtra has been the leader in the economic and industrial development in the country. We have complete ecosystem. The most developed industrial infrastructure is in place. But in addition, we take pride to mention here that our skilled, educated manpower is the strength for the state of Maharashtra. We have 1,000 plus engineering and professional colleges. We have more than 900 industrial training institutes. We have universities and colleges where from the students come out with degrees in their hands from the various streams like pharmacy, information technology, computer science, microbiology, and so on. So any investor, any industrialist who wants to set up his unit here in the state is assured of getting skilled and educated manpower readily. And I'm sure that with this ecosystem and the backing of the youth skilled manpower, we are sure Maharashtra would always be at the forefront.
Okay. Mr. Desai, industry many a times has raised concerns around land acquisition, how that remains a big challenge, and the kind of friction that we have seen between Mahavikas Aghadi government and the BJP here on a number of issues that have led to delays as well on a few projects as well. So what is it that you are trying to tell the investors on this front? How are you allaying their concerns as far as land acquisition is concerned?
Yes, land issues were in discussions earlier, but no more. Now we have largest land bank in country with us. Our MIDC is having 1 lakh hectare of fully developed land in Maharashtra for industrial development. So land is not an issue. We have our MID Act on our side to take this cause forward, and wherever there is a demand for particular location and they need land there, we through this act negotiate with the owners and farmers. We settle the land rate with consent, and therefore land is not an issue at all in Maharashtra. We have 1 lakh plus hectare of land readily available for industrial development.
Okay, and one last question before we let you go on the issue of electric vehicle. What kind of push are you, seeing in World Economic Forum? We know a lot of efforts are being made by Maharashtra government here in India as well by ensuring that the public transport that you have runs via electricity. So what is the focus of Maharashtra in this aspect as far as World Economic Forum is concerned? The EV push.
Yes, okay. As everyone knows in the country, Maharashtra is the automobile hub of India. Name any leading brand of automobile and it is present in Maharashtra. So moving forward, we have now released our EV policy, taking 4 departments on board: industry department, environment department, transport, and energy department. 4 departments have created this policy, and we have taken care of demand side and supply side as well. There are incentives for customers as well as for the manufacturers and for the infra developers, because the charging infrastructure is very, very crucial in e-mobility. And therefore, we have taken care of all these aspects, developing a charging infrastructure, setting up manufacturing units, as well as encouraging the consumers for opting for the e-vehicles. And therefore, Maharashtra's EV policy is well taken. We have already made Bhumi Pujan of 2 projects near Pune last month only, and they are launching their production in few months from now. So EV is the sunrise sector for state of Maharashtra, and Maharashtra would set its number 1 in this sector also.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Subhash Desai. I appreciate you joining us live from Davos on Mirror Now. Thank you very much. And we wish you good luck for your attempt to woo more investors for the state of Maharashtra. Thank you very much for joining.